Welcome to November in the kitchen garden and greenhouse. We are in a little bit of a seam in the season. It's almost winter and it's a little too late in the season to get anything going that's gonna go out in the garden. It's a little too early to get things going for spring. So I have had this question repeatedly asked of me that I'm going to answer for you today in the Yoderbilt Greenhouse. So I design beautiful kitchen gardens and estates, and one of the #1 requests that we get is to add a greenhouse like my beautiful Yoderbilt greenhouse. I have clients come to the house often so I can show off its features and showcase just different elements that I like in a greenhouse. But the fundamentals of what you need when you're looking for in a greenhouse are really, really well embodied in the Yoderbilt products, and that's why I love them so much. So today I want to share with you, when you're choosing a greenhouse, what are the considerations that we need to make? What do we need to be looking for? So the first thing, I'm just gonna sort of try and start from the ground up. What I love about my greenhouse, and Yoderbilt has these beautiful wood floors. So when you're getting your greenhouse, all you have to do at home is prepare your pad. So you figure out the size that you want, and that is going to be driven by how you're gonna use your greenhouse. So are we having dining options in here? Sitting area? Are we drying herbs? Are we starting all of our seeds? That's how we start to consider what size do we want. So moving from the ground up, we're going to talk about storage and tabletops. How much table space do you want and or need? I am starting almost all of my seeds in here, but rotating seasonally. I actually eat and grow more seasonally as opposed to growing as much as I can all at once and then processing it and storing it. So those two different approaches are actually somewhat important to think through. So I don't need as much table space all at once, although I do recommend, if you can, go top to bottom on having tables because they're just so functional and you can move them around. Now Yoderbilt, they made these custom tables for us. They'll do it for you as well, and it's really nice to have these come delivered in the greenhouse. I added the curtains for storage, but there's a ton of stuff going on behind the curtain that allows you to hide messes. When you are done thinking about table space, the next thing you're going to think about is shelving. So I have rear shelving back here, and right now it's just used for baskets. It's holding a lot of dust because I need to do a deep clean before spring. And that allows you to like double decker your seed starting operation. It's really, really useful. Something else to think about. Now, moving up from tables, I'm going to talk about windows. There are windows 360 surrounding us in this greenhouse, and they are all operational. So I can lock and unlock them and open them, and there's a screen here, which is really nice. And then I close them. So all summer, I'm able to use my greenhouse because I just open up all of the windows and get a beautiful cross breeze going, and it just keeps the greenhouse cool in the hottest months of the year when I actually am still in here doing things. Moving up from the windows, we have ventilation, and Yoderbilt offers some optional upgrades for ventilation, like the fan behind me that will kick on when a certain temperature is reached. But built into every one of these beautiful greenhouses is a gable vent, and they use beeswax technology, which is so cool. It's in the front of the greenhouse, and when the beeswax is hard, the window stays closed. When it gets hot, based on the temperature that you've set, the beeswax melts and that window kicks open. But of course, in my Yoderbilt greenhouse, we have electrical hookups too, which is so nice. I got the electrical package, and we can have a fan going. I can have lights on or off. My automatic fan kicks on. I've got heat options. It's just so convenient to have hookups as well, where I can just plug things in and out. If you've been following for the past few months, I do a lot of dehydrating and drying, and so I'll bring in my food dehydrator and plug it into the greenhouse so it's not like banging around in the house where the kids are. So having those plugs is really, really convenient. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the poly that's used, the plastic that's used for the greenhouse. And I really, really like the polycarbonate because it's very durable. There are some trends where people are wanting glass greenhouses, but it makes me so nervous with weather events and just with condensation and things of that nature. These Yoderbilt greenhouses are built to not only be so beautiful, but incredibly functional and safe. So I've never once worried about a hailstorm or all the acorns that fall in the autumn, which is actually like with so much force, it's crazy. It's just so durable and it's also beautiful. So these are the things that you want to think about when you're choosing a greenhouse. And I think people assume you can just plop a glass house onto your property and the sun will heat it up. That's not really the case. You want to have insulation. That's another option we have here is I've got my walls insulated, beautiful wood siding, and it really makes the space super high functioning. I almost can forget about it. I definitely forget about it often. I'm just doing other things, but my greenhouse is safe, protecting the plants and doing the work for me. So something to think about when you're choosing your greenhouse and what you definitely need versus maybe don't.